One of the main questions we get is, does Botox make you look frozen?
Okay, so I feel like that is the main question we get, but I get more of, I do not want to look frozen. Or they'll bring up like movie stars. I don't want to look like this. So in our practice, when you're a new patient and you've never had neurotoxins before, we're going to go through and we're going to ask you what your goals are. We're going to see what areas bother you. You look at yourself in the mirror every day, you're doing your skincare, maybe you're putting makeup on, maybe you're not, maybe you're just taking pictures of yourself and, oh, when I smile, this is what's bothering me. So we're then going to emphasize on that. And then me and Dr. P are really good at explaining to you how muscles work. So we're going to customize this to you. If you come into my office and you say, I don't want to look frozen, you're not going to look frozen. Like, I'm going to make sure you look refreshed, that you feel like this is more youthful. It's going to be customized to you. Can I make you look frozen? I don't know. I have to see. Do you have heavy eyelids? I probably can't make you look frozen then. I'm not sure. But I'm going to make sure you're comfortable and that I explain every single thing to you.
Hello, everyone. So this is our first time doing something like this. We're super excited to bring this to our followers and our patients. We know you guys want to hear about certain treatments more in depth, so we figured what would be better than coming and doing a podcast about them. So today we're talking about a treatment that a lot of people on social media are talking about. It's all the buzz, and our patients are coming in and asking about it now, and it's something that we offer, and it almost honestly sounds too good to be true sometimes. It's called awake. So Dr. P, can you kind of go into depth on what awake actually is?
Hi, everybody. Excited to be here today. Awake is such a great, innovative product that was FDA approved last year. And what it is, it's an allograft of fat tissue from a harvested donor. So it's from a human donor. And what it provides is it's a structural honeycomb shape of the fat. So it's denatured of all the DNA. So you don't have to worry about all that autoimmune stuff that can occur when you have another person's tissue in your body. And it provides the structure that's needed to provide volume and lift, which is super exciting. And what's really exciting about it is that there's no downtime. It's an in-office procedure. You don't have to go under anesthesia. You don't have to have liposuction. And you don't have to wear a garment for 6 weeks, and you don't have to stay off the area for 6 weeks, which is huge because a lot of my patients are very active, as you know, Misty, and they don't want to take a break from working out. So this is a great alternative to the traditional fat transfer that we do. We provide both because there's different patients that would benefit from either procedure, but it's great now that we have an option.
Right. So what we're seeing is patients coming in who are already pretty thin. They may have been on a GLP-1 or have recent weight loss. They want to do fat transfer, but they don't have the fat to actually transfer. So this would be like the perfect type of patient for awake, right?
Right, because before this product came to market, our other option for these types of patients, which are extremely physically fit, they do not have an ounce of fat that they can spare for these volume depleted areas.
How lucky for them.
I know, they're very lucky. I don't have that problem, but I wish I did. And the other option they would have had was to do traditional HA filler, which is extremely costly, temporary, and not as natural appearing, or biostimulators such as Sculptra or Radiesse, which are great options also, however, also really costly and not as predictable. Now, I know when I place this product in a patient's buttocks, let's say, I see what's happening right away, and it stays and it lifts, and it's such a beautiful transformation right in front of our eyes. Whereas with the biostimulators, the mode is placing it in normal saline or bacteriostatic water, which provides the initial volume, to create that voluminous appearance rather. However, within a day, that's all gone. And you have to wait 6 months and hope that your body responds to it. So when it comes to plus minuses, I'd say Sculptra is great for smaller areas now that we have this option. So I think it's such a great option. It's predictable and really worthwhile.
What is like the main difference you would say in aftercare or post-treatment from traditional fat transfer to alloy transfer?
So with traditional autologous fat transfer, let's say to the buttocks, the patient would have to remain off and not put pressure on that area for at least 6 weeks. And Misty, who sees these patients with me post-operatively, knows how difficult that is for them and how it's really hard for them to comply with this necessary restriction to have great results. Like, what do patients say when they have to do that, Misty, when they come in? Like,
I feel like most of them don't comply with it. Even just knowing that they have to purchase the pillow to even be able to drive so that there's no pressure on those areas. And when you really educate them and explain to them that the fat that we've transferred there will die if they actually sit on it or cause pressure, I don't think they very much understand. So alloy is such a great option because there is no downtime like that. They can sit on it right away. I think it's actually pretty amazing.
And yeah, they can resume their normal activities. It doesn't put a dent in their lifestyle.
Yeah, and the results actually speak for themselves. The patients that we've done, it's actually amazing, the results. And other patients who have done liposuction before and they've seen the results and they're like, I wish this was an option when I did this.
Right, I agree. So why are you so excited to have this in our practice?
I am really excited to have this in our practice because there's no one size fits all for any person. Mm-hmm. So it's great to have an arsenal of different options to target and treat different problem areas or different problems that patients want addressed. And to have this as an option, especially now that a lot of our patient population is extraordinarily fit and extraordinarily busy. Who has time to sit and, recover for 6 to 8 weeks?
And no one has patience.
No.
But I do think it's the neat part is our patients are all different. So alloy is perfect for certain patients, completely perfect, but there is other patients who do have enough fat to transfer to the Botox and do a BBL who are willing to take those sacrifices, and we have the ability now to give all those different options to them.
Right, which totally makes sense, right? Because if I have a patient that has stubborn area fat around their abdomen flanks, they're not just going to want to put alloy because their body shape is not going to, represent what they're trying to convey, which is a snatched waist and a bubble booty. Mm-hmm. And even though the trends are changing in that we're not seeing as much the super large BBLs out there, I've always gone with very natural looking augmentation, really trying to restore patients' more youthful prior self and kind of create that natural appearance, because as we age, as we know, gravity takes hold and our butts just drop to the floor and become flat pancakes. So we're not really our aesthetic, and our goal in our practice is science-driven, natural appearing and restoring. So we're going to restore and put that booty back up where it used to be, and we're not going to make it this gargantuan thing that's comes into the room 10 minutes behind you. So
Yeah. And I think that's the kind of patients that we get. We get the patients that want to restore more in a more youthful look. I feel like the ones that want something that is not natural are not coming to us anyways.
Absolutely. Okay. So if someone thinks that they would be a great candidate for Alaclay or want to learn more about it, what do you think is the first steps they should take?
Well, the first step I would say is do your own research. I always encourage patients to self-educate. We have so many resources out there. However, that being said, there's also knowing to listen to the correct resources.
Oh, yeah.
Because going on TikTok and listening to influencers that really don't have the science-based education and can misinform you.
Yes.
So I really recommend PubMed is a great research tool. I would go to PubMed.com and then type in Alaclay, and you could see all the actual science-based research behind it. Or go to the actual manufacturer's website to learn about it. And of course, you are always welcome to come in for a consultation for us to go over everything with you.
Yeah, that's actually what we're here for. So if you feel like you can't research and you don't understand, that's what we're here for.
Absolutely.
So that being said, I think the next topic that a lot of patients ask us about or have questions about is actually awake liposuction. So we in our practice have the Alma BeautiFill laser assisted liposuction device. And what I love about our machine is that it is compact. It is a one loop device that keeps everything sterile. And it also provides the laser assistance, which is phenomenal in that they were able to create the wavelength that won't destroy the fat, because there's times we want to do a fat transfer. And the last thing we want to do is harvest fat that will not take and that will not be of value to the patient. So what's amazing is that they were able to create this technology, and what it does is, so when you think about our fat, let's say in our abdomen, which is called white fat, it is like a cluster of grapes, and there's all this fibrinous connective tissue that are holding these fat droplets cells together. And with traditional liposuction, you just have to mechanically break through those septae in order to suction out the fat. And what that does is create a lot of trauma, a lot of bruising, and trauma to the fat, which makes it less successful when you're transferring it. That being said, with the BeautiFill system, what it does is beautifully just melt out those septae. So your grapes now are like loose in a bowl, ready to just be sucked out and harvested and transferred, and are nice, plump, and not broken down and bloody. So that's what I think is wonderful. In addition, with that, you're able to tighten the skin at the same time. And it is the only system that allows you to do liposuction and laser at the same time, therefore decreasing operative time, decreasing chances of infection, decreasing complications. So it's a no-brainer that if you want to have this procedure, that you want to be awake, and you want to have the least amount of downtime. As we said, everyone's busy these days. So it makes sense to have this system.
Yeah, and what's awesome that we've found with the BeautiFill system is the laser heats the fat to the perfect temperature where it's not destroying it, and it's perfect for transfer. What is the success rate with fat transfer with BeautiFill?
So our studies have found that transfer rates with the BeautiFill system are upwards of 80 to 95%, which is remarkable since traditional liposuction fat transfer rates are more around less than 50%. Therefore, you want to, when you're transferring this, you want it to be a successful incorporation into the transfer area. If you're transferring fat that has a less than 50% chance of taking, that doesn't seem like a good investment. If I told you if you invest $10 in the stock market, you have less than a 50% chance of a return, would you take that risk?
No,
right? Absolutely. But if I told you 80 upwards or 95%, I think I would put my money down on that.
Right. Absolutely. I agree. Misty, when we do awake liposuctions in office, what area of the body do you find makes the biggest difference that we are taking fat from in the body shape?
In the body shape.
Yeah.
Dr. P is very good at sculpting. So when we do these consultations, we ask them what areas they want to do. And after educating, most patients do upper lower abdomen, flanks, and then upper lower back. Some patients will opt out of that, but the best for sculpting is bilateral flanks.
Oh,
so
definitely.
They're to kind of sculpt that body in, give you that look, that hourglass look that you're looking for, while also removing fat from the lower and upper abdomen.
You know what I find amazing is just by doing the flanks alone, let's say, immediate looks like you had a BBL.
Yeah, it actually really does. The flanks alone, everybody's going to look at you and it's going to look like you've been in the gym for the last year and working very, very hard. Which then after these, we do educate you what you have to do to maintain that.
Right.
That's a completely different education and probably totally different session. But that is what makes the biggest difference is bilateral flanks.
And then speaking on the BeautiFill system, I know we were talking a lot about BBLs and fat transfer to the buttocks or hip dips. However, fat transfer to the face is an amazing regenerative, restorative option for patients.
It's pretty much king when it comes to restoring volume.
Yeah, pretty much the most beautiful thing. I mean, if you have enough fat to go to your face and your butt, that's great.
It's the gold standard because our fat cells harvest the fountain of youth because the adipose tissue, mesenchymal tissue, has the most amount of our stem cells. So can you imagine just placing all that fat in the face, restoring the volume, but also what happens is it creates a natural glow to your skin and improves your elasticity because of all those stem cells working. So you continue to improve with time. And the way I like to do fat transfer to the face is I do it full face. And I like to do it with macro, micro, and nano. I incorporate all those to all the different areas of the tissue to create and get the best effect and most restorative and regenerative effect. And patients are thrilled. It creates a glow. Their skin looks beautiful and beautiful, natural looking results.
Yeah, I was just going to kind of talk about natural looking results. So that's really a big thing in our practice. And I think that's what our patients really appreciate. Our patients who have come in for BeautiFill laser liposuction is that they know they're getting a natural result. With BeautiFill, it is their own fat, but the way that you guys are sculpting and doing the bodies, it's a natural result. It's not something that's going to look unnatural. That's not something we believe in our practice.
Right. If you're looking to look like an alien, or that's everyone's entitled to their own aesthetic and what they want to represent. However, we would not be the place for you to visit.
I think they call that the ant booty.
Yeah, that's true. The amp booty or the diaper booty,
Yes.
which a lot of people are now working on having removed. And you're seeing the trend of people having filler removed. And, there's no right or wrong answer in the sense of, I don't believe in extremes. There's a place for filler, bios, lasers, and actually they all work well together. There's no one thing that's good or bad. It's just great that we have options.
I think it's good that we brought up the face transfer, you guys, especially because I feel like there's a big movement for like natural green. I don't want anything that's synthetic in my body. I feel like a lot of the younger people are coming in saying that. So understanding that you can take fat from areas and put it into your face, it's all natural and your own stuff to create something that makes you look more youthful again and enhances what you already have. I think that's something that patients don't think of when they think of fat transfer. I think everybody does think about BBL. So educating everybody on that is probably one of the best things that we just
And
did.
another place that I think is really underlooked at is, if I said that correctly, is the hands.
Oh, the hands for sure. That's actually something nobody talks about. It's the craziest thing how your hands can age you in 5 seconds and how we can naturally, with your own stuff, give you that youthful hands. I mean,
Think about what our hands go through. The
well, simply just
on the floor.
No, well, simple, just hand sanitizer. Since 2020, I think everybody in the world uses hand sanitizer every 15 minutes.
Think about when you're driving your car.
Oh yeah, the sun.
Yeah.
All
They're
the sun,
Yeah.
direct
all the
sunlight.
oxidative stress your hands go through. And it's interesting if you walk around, like if you were to go down to Beverly Hills, let's say, and you see all these women with like a perfect young looking
Yeah.
face. You look down, their
hands.
décolleté ages them and their hands give it away. So we're now realizing that we're an entire human. We're not just a head.
Yeah.
Correct.
And that if you want to be overall treatment or take care of yourself in a whole fashion, don't forget about your hands.
Right. And here's the thing too about the BeautiFill laser liposuction system. So we've talked a lot about fat transfer with it. What's awesome is that you can just strictly look at it as laser liposuction. And the before and afters that I love so much of our patients are patients who get the submental area liposuction,
that's true.
snatch their jawline. Let's talk a little bit about that area.
Oh, yeah. That is an area that is a trouble spot for so many patients.
So many.
Genetically, there are patients that are perfect BMI and just have this genetic stubborn area they can't get rid of. That is the perfect patient for this procedure because once we remove that and I define the jawline and tighten up that skin with the laser, minimal downtime, which is also great, minimal surgical time, and you look 10 years younger just by doing that. It's very dramatic and it improves patients' confidence. Especially now that everyone's doing these Zoom calls and staring at themselves, god awful. They're becoming a little bit more aware of that area.
Right. So if somebody was interested in doing BeautiFill laser liposuction, what are the steps that they would take for our practice if they wanted to come in and see if they're a candidate for any of the areas that we offer?
First, the patient has to be overall healthy. Nothing will never put a patient at risk.
No.
Right.
Just for to look better. So overall, you have to be a healthy person.
And I think a misconception going into that is that liposuction is a weight loss treatment. It's not.
Absolutely not. It is not a weight loss treatment. It is a method to remove stubborn fat from a patient that is at their ideal weight. Now, that being said, your ideal weight is different for everybody, and every surgeon has their BMI plus minus restrictions. I like to go below 30 or 29 ideally to optimize my outcomes. Because actually, very interestingly, I was watching, as you all know, I am a Bravoholic. And I was watching last night the reunion, Vanderpump Rules. And one of the characters on the show had a quote unquote mommy makeover liposuction. But when I was looking at her, I knew she wasn't at her ideal weight when she had the procedure. And seeing her post, she looks, if I wouldn't say like, still not ideal, because what we're seeing now is the visceral fat that's underneath, because she didn't get down to the ideal weight. So that just, to me, just doesn't make sense. I'm here to help you get to where you need to be health-wise also. Using it to debulk and be a Band-Aid, I don't think is appropriate. I think it's not appropriate at all to do that. So it's not in favor of your patient and not looking out for their best results. So overall, I like my patients to be healthy, at their ideal weight, and just taking care of trouble fat areas.
I think with that being said, a lot of patients have questions like, am I at my ideal weight? If, I've been trying, maybe they've been doing weight loss drugs, maybe they've been working out, maybe they're on a meal plan, have a trainer. You can always come in for a consultation. We can talk to you about what your goals are. What really does your ideal weight look like? And Darby and Dr. P will sit down with you and go in depth.
What about you?
I'll be there. Sometimes those consultations I'm with a different patient, and these two you do usually sit down with you, but we want you to come in if you have questions or you're kind of lost, like, well, am I even a candidate for this? That's what we're here for. So you didn't always call the office. You can always reach out to us and then make an appointment, and we'd love to see you guys.
Yeah. And what I think is great about having you in there, you are very knowledgeable. And
I talk a lot. That's what she means by knowledgeable.
Very knowledgeable about nutrition.
Oh, yeah.
Exercise and metabolism. So you've taught me a lot, actually.
Thanks. Pat myself on the back here.
You have, really. And then I would like Darby to tell us, because she was one of my first awake liposuction, actually the first awake liposuction patient. And tell us a little bit about your experience.
Yeah. So I always tell patients when they come in for a consultation and they ask, how was it being awake? And should I go to sleep? I always say, if Dr. P told me right now, you're going to get liposuction like late, I would do it 100% again awake. It was such an easy process. I just remember when we first started doing awake lipo, Dr. P texted me and said, do you have any areas that you would like liposuction? I was like, yup. I think I ran down to her building. So it was such an easy process. I mean, you're in the office, everything's sterile. What was the best part about it was the recovery. It was so easy. We typically do surgeries on Thursdays. And on that Thursday, I had my procedure. By Saturday, I had a birthday party at my house with like 60 people there. No one even knew I had a procedure done, unless I told them, which I typically usually do. But nobody asked, like, what's wrong with you? So the recovery time is so much easier than traditional liposuction. And that's what I loved the most about it.
Yeah. I'm always like surprised like that patients do like to be awake. I prefer my patients to be asleep, but we do have a good time. And everything is really so up to standard and California standard code. We always have an registered nurse in the procedure with us, which is by law regulated for a reason. So I love operating with Nurse Misty. We just get each other and our flow is really great. And then so she monitors our patient while I'm operating, taking vitals, make sure everyone's okay and they're comfortable. And it's all done in a sterile manner. And it's fun. We have a good time. A lot of our patients talk to us the whole time and have fun, and the day goes by pretty quickly, and then we get to know each other on a really good level.
Yeah. No, it is. It's really fun. What we haven't touched base on is why did they start doing awake like liposuctions, or other practices do awake breast augmentations? And my after doing research is because it's safer. What do you think, Dr. P?
It is for sure safer. You're alleviating the highest risk of any surgery, which is anesthesia. That's the biggest risk of complication. And then also with awake liposuction, it's really difficult, not impossible, to perforate a bowel or lung because the patient will jump off the table and not let you do that. So in that sense, it's safe. Complications that have occurred with traditional liposuction under anesthesia, with perforated bowel, the surgeon maybe not experienced enough, or I don't know, can dive into and penetrate past the fascia muscle into the intestine, not know it. Patient goes home and has a severe complication and can lead to death. So that is all alleviated. And you don't have that hangover after anesthesia. Now, all that is great. However, if you are afraid to be awake. Or if you have an extensive case, which requires multiple procedures, then I do recommend that we do your surgery in the surgery center, which we provide. We have that option also. We're not just awake lipo. We do traditional under anesthesia as well. So like I said, I love having an arsenal of options because we have something for everybody.
Right.
Yes.
And with awake lipo, there's only a certain amount of fat that we can take while a patient is awake, correct? Versus being in the surgery center.
That is very true. And a lot of people don't know that or aren't aware that there are restrictions, and there's restrictions for a reason. There's a huge fluid shift in the body when you're removing that much fat. Okay. So the max in office is 2 liters safely without creating a huge fluid shift and creating instability in the patient, versus when they're under anesthesia and monitored by the anesthesiologist, you're able to do a max of 5. If by any reason you're going over 5, they're going to have to be inpatient overnight to be monitored. I don't recommend doing that. And that's why picking a patient selection is huge. You're not going to, doing these huge debulking procedures, I don't think is fair to the patient, one, and not safe. So getting your patient to their optimal weight, yes, it's hard to be there, but we have so many things to help you get there too.
Right. And we have so many consultations that come in that are really interested in BeautiFill, but we have to be honest and help them first get to where they need to be health-wise so that they get the best results with BeautiFill.
You don't want to, we're not throwing a Band-Aid on something. That's not the option. And psychologically, you have to be ready.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's this thing that occurs, believe it or not, after surgery, you become really sad and depressed.
Surgery blues.
That's right. At the 6-week mark, we notice a lot of patients are just, this surgery blues occurs. And if you're not mentally sound before you go into the procedure, that is exponential and can result in a lot of complications and problems. Mind and body is huge, in my opinion. If you have a poor attitude, you have poor outcomes. I've seen it, and it's profound. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I think
If you're a negative Nelly.
you become what you think, guys. So that's what I think.
Yeah.
So you got to be physically well and mentally well.
Yeah, that's why I thought you were great, because you just had such a positive outlook, and
Thank you. I try to live my life that way.
yeah, and you recovered so fast. Very impressed with your recovery. And what I love is then it motivated you even more to have a healthy lifestyle and to have, just a healthy balance of your exercise. Like, you've created more lean muscle. It's just very impressed with you.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, I think every patient's different. I honestly, I think if it's something that you've thought about and you're like, am I a candidate? Is this something I'd want to do? That's seriously what we're here for. We can completely educate everybody on it and lead you down the right road or right to that procedure. So
at our practice, we hear a lot of the same questions every week, every day that come in, which is totally fine, because if you're not in this space or in this, in the medical field, these are things you don't know. The average patient doesn't know. So we're going to kind of go over some commonly asked questions we get in our practice every week. So one of the main questions we get is, does Botox make you look frozen?
Okay. So I feel like that is the main question we get, but I get more of, I do not want to look frozen. Or they'll bring up like movie stars. I don't want to look like this. So in our practice, when you're a new patient and you've never had neurotoxins before, we're going to go through and we're going to ask you what your goals are. We're going to see what areas bother you. You look at yourself in the mirror every day, you're doing your skincare, maybe you're putting makeup on, maybe you're not, maybe you're just taking pictures of yourself and, oh, when I smile, this is what's bothering me. So we're then going to emphasize on that. And then me and Dr. P are really good at explaining to you how muscles work. So we're going to customize this to you. If you come into my office and you say, I don't want to look frozen, you're not going to look frozen. Like, I'm going to make sure you look refreshed, that you feel like this is more youthful. It's going to be customized to you. Can I make you look frozen? I don't know. I have to see. Do you have heavy eyelids? I probably can't make you look frozen then. I'm not sure. But I'm going to make sure you're comfortable and that I explain every single thing to you.
And I think most people don't realize that they probably meet hundreds of people a day that have Botox and they don't realize, because the misconception is that you're going to look different, right?
Yeah.
And that's just
And the misconception is that you're not going to be able to convey emotion.
right.
My kids and husband know if I'm not happy. They don't need to see me furrow my brow.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so another question that people have is, when should they start getting neurotoxins like Botox?
I think the education's different now.
It depends on the individual.
Yeah.
Actually, it's remarkable how you can see someone in their early 20s having static lines in their forehead or 11s, versus having a patient come in their 40s that started seeing that. It's all genetic. It's all different. I don't agree with treating super young patients that don't have, what is your, like, the prevention of it? Yeah. The prevention is you do it to prevent static deep lines, right?
Yeah, but if I get a young patient that's, 20 to 23 and they don't have, it doesn't appear like they're going to get the stagnant 11 or the deep cross against their forehead, the last thing I'm going to do is just treat them preventatively. I mean, we're going to do education and we're going to see, but if they, if they already are starting to have an 11 or a line between their eyebrows there, it's going to get worse and worse with movement.
So it makes sense to treat them. So I personally started getting treatments at 28. I thought that was a great time and age for me to start. There's patients that I see that are starting at 40 that should have started probably a little sooner, because now we're fighting to correct versus preventing, which is a lot easier to do.
Right. So bottom line, there really is no magic age. Like, every patient is different, right?
Yeah. There's no like, oh, when you turned this age or 30, you need to come into the office. It all depends on the person. And we're here to guide and educate away from trends and TikTok educators.
Right.
Yeah, TikTok educators.
Another question that we get is, will filler stretch my skin?
I mean, if it's not placed right, if you have an injector that doesn't place it right, or maybe you're
Or
overfilled.
let's say if you're getting filler, your skin's probably stretched.
Well, yes. You should be getting filler to replace loss of volume. Yeah,
Which is fat, right?
Which is fat. You shouldn't. I keep just thinking about specific patients that I've seen come into the practice before, or maybe you've seen at the grocery market, where you're like, gosh, I wish somebody would have told you didn't need that cheek filler, you know? But if you're getting filler and you have a great injector and you have the right education, then you are filling an area that has loss of fat.
Right. I think
volume.
if you're going to a great practice, you don't have to worry about that, because the only time I feel like filler would be able to stretch your skin is if you're being completely overfilled, and that's never something we do.
Which is insane.
Right. It's a misconception of how much filler you're actually getting placed. You know, one syringe is the size of a blueberry, isn't it?
One syringe is about 1 ml is about the size of a tablespoon.
Right.
Yeah.
30 is
cc's.
So little. It requires so much to really not to transform someone to look not like themselves. And when you're doing that, it's not in our practice.
No.
So we don't see that. And then another thing that I've seen is patients going to not reputable places and having things that are placed in their face that are not FDA approved
For that area.
or FDA approved product. Period. They're having like silicone or things they don't even know.
They don't know that's
what
happening.
it is, and then they develop this foreign body response, and it's quite devastating to see.
I think the best thing you can do as a patient who's interested in filler is to read up on the practice you're looking at going into. You know, the main focus should not be cost. It should be, are they reputable? Is this somebody who knows what they're doing? And when it comes to that, then you don't have to have those worries about.
And are
filler.
they licensed?
Right.
You could look up my medical license. You could look up Misty's nursing license and see if there's been any complaints, if there's been any disciplinary actions, if you have one.
Yeah, if you even have one.
State. There's different rules in different states. Luckily, we're in California, where there is a lot of regulation to protect you, the public, from an injector that is not licensed could be. There's funny. I was listening to the radio, Andy Cohen, and John, his co-host, was talking about having this guy come and do product Botox and stuff on him, and he asked him, so where are you getting this stuff? It's such a great deal. And he was like, well, I work at the zoo, and
Red flag.
we're able to get it for certain animals. And I was like, if it sounds too good to be true, it is too good to be true. So don't be going on your group.
Yeah. I'm not a fan.
You can pay with your life, actually.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of the Groupon thing. Yeah.
No, definitely not. A lot of times our patients come in and ask us, how long does filler actually last? Because I know this is a hot topic right now on social media. People are saying that filler is actually lasting a lot longer than the studies originally anticipated. What do you think about this?
That is true, because the new age of fillers are cross-linked. And the body can break down the hyaluronic acid, but it can't break down these cross links, and it lasts a lot longer than you think. They're saying for years. But then patients come in and say, oh, I did filler and it's not there anymore. And actually it is there. It's either you were undercorrected, And a lot of the times you're undercorrected because of the financial restraints, if you're going to a reputable physician or nurse that uses FDA approved product, the product's expensive. These pharmaceutical companies are not in business because
they give us cheap products.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely not.
It's really expensive and
everybody's different, right? The way they metabolize fillers.
Exactly. Everybody's different. So you could say, oh, I just did this filler a month ago and it's not there. It's there. You were probably undercorrected, and what's going on is we're aging still. The aging process does not stop. So as you continue to age, you continue to need more for restoring yourself to where you want it to be. Like myself, I love when I feel like my best year, everyone must have a best year, was like 27. And it's pretty funny. Last night, my husband found a bunch of old pictures of us when we were, I was like 28-ish. And he looked at them and he's like, wow, we looked young. We were young. And he's like, and he's like, wow, I see now what you saw in me. He's now looking in the mirror and is like, a little down on himself. But he only lets Misty inject him.
She's got the gentle touch.
She does. And he's due for more work. But that's pretty funny. That's my best year. What's yours?
Oh, every year is a good year.
What?
I don't know. No, actually, I don't. I think that the late 30s and 40s have been my favorite years. So.
How about you, Darby? What do you think?
I don't know. I feel like since I started working with you guys, I'm aging backwards. So thank you.
My pleasure.
I really do. I like every year that's gone on. I mean, I was looking at pictures from last year and I really thought I looked great.
Yeah. No, so we have a folder like we do HIPAA things and we have folders for each patient. And sometimes I'll go through my folder and I'm like, whoa, yeah, glad I look like this now. I don't know what was going on with my caterpillar eyelashes back then.
Thank God. Dr. P.
Evolving. But what's hard for you and me, Misty, is that we need time to treat ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of times I'm talking about things we do and things that, help restore age and skin and quality of, overall well-being. And I'm like, we need to do that on ourselves. And we have all this at our fingertips. And we just need to make time for us.
Yeah, that's funny. My patient this morning actually said that. She said, isn't it funny when you are a working mom, you're a wife, you're taking care of the house, you have, these kids and everything. When do you have time for yourself? And I was like, looked at the time and I was thinking, nah, I don't have time right this second. You're going to have to hurry up.
Right.
But it's true. We don't always make time for ourselves. I think that's so important.
And most of my friends are like, you're so lucky you work in a practice. You have your hands on anything you want to do. I'm like, yeah, I do, but we don't have time to do it.
I know, honestly, really.
To make time.
It's true because one thing we're doing now in the practice, which is exciting, is we're part of the Alma Titanium study.
Oh, I love it.
One of the 3 practices in this country, bringing in, the trend K beauty, Korean beauty, and all their new technology that's reaching us in the States. And I've been telling Darby I need to do it on her. Mm-hmm. And
you haven't done one?
I haven't done one yet.
Oh.
When we first started doing it, I just got Botox. My Nefertiti lift. So we were like, oh, we'll do it later. Yeah. And when does later happen?
And I keep saying we need to do it because you know what? Does she quote unquote need it? No, but you know what it does? It helps just keep regenerating that collagen, elasticity.
Yeah. No, I love it. It's one of my favorite. It causes collagenesis. So I honestly think this should be
that big word.
I know. I have to say it all the time. I feel like it's one of my biggest procedures right now, to tell you the truth. And what's funny? I'm pretty skeptical about things. I like things. I'm weird about things. That's why I probably talk a lot, but I was pretty skeptical when this came out. And so I did a lot of research and I absolutely love this. This is a cool treatment and I can see results right away. I know why the results are there right away, but the beauty of it is I'm actually seeing results when they're coming in 4 weeks later. Right. And it is actually kind of neat. I really do like it. I have a really close patient that I absolutely love. I love all my patients, but she's one of my favorites. And her results are pretty amazing. And just seeing that how happy she struggled with, her jawline being defined. She feels like this is just, it's something where she looks at herself in the face. She does a bunch of reels, Instagram posts. She's a big influencer. Yeah. And the confidence it's given her. Is it like lipo? No, it's not like lipo at all. But the confidence it's given her is pretty amazing. And we're seeing it from even new patients who came in just for this study. Darby's seeing them at the gym and they're saying like, oh my gosh, I feel like my face is more glowing. Well, yeah, because it's causing your body to go into collagenesis. And that right there, or they're saying, I can see my more defined jawline. And it's just neat that this is actually a procedure that's working.
Yeah. And what's the technique that we learned is that you can use it to debulk fat because it goes down to about 6 millimeters, and heating up that fat for your macrophages to get rid of because it breaks down the extracellular matrix. And then, or if someone doesn't have fat and you don't want to debulk or and they have a thin face and all you want to do is tighten, you can do that too. Yeah. Because we're able to do it in the correct settings to do either or both. Yeah. So, but yeah, I've done it twice. I've had it done twice and people are asking me like, oh, wow, your skin looks great. What are you doing? And I think back, I'm like, oh, that's the only thing I've done so far. Yeah. Misty, you've done it once? Or
I've done it twice. Yeah. I love it. I do. I like it a lot. I feel like your face isn't as dull. And once you're educated on how it's really working and what they reference it as is called BTS, is brightening, tightening, and sculpting. And like Dr. P said, you can make it go deeper to help break up fat that will then break it up and go through the lymphatic system. But the BTS is the brightening, tightening, and sculpting. And it's been used in Korea for years now with this exact machine. We're one of the practices, there's only 3 practices in the United States that's doing this study. I think it's just an amazing treatment. It's
a great option. Why? Because we're all busy. We don't have time. There's no downtime.
It's affordable. Yeah. This is it. I have patients that I know that this is their area that they really struggle with, and but they don't have time for not that having Submental liposuction is a lot of downtime, but they don't actually have the money for that. Right. This is something that's affordable, that's going to give them results and
instantly.
Yes,
clinically proven.
It is, and it's clinically proven.
It's not hocus pocus.
No.
Right. And what's awesome.
So when are you gonna?
I know. I need to do it. The problem is I always have a spray tan, so maybe I need to just scrub that off so I can do it. But it is so true. And because I do the marketing in our social media, I see online that that Alma Titanium lift is completely taken over social media and everyone's talking about it. Korea really does come out with new technologies first.
Groundbreaking.
Yes, faster than, it's pretty amazing.
We are so lucky that
I would love
one of the only practices doing it first.
I would love to do a trip with us out there.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Fun.
That'd be fun.
To try all the
We should have Dr.
treatments.
Koo take us.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
I like the titanium lift. I think it's great. Once we have decided we want to do it in different areas, we'll let all of you know.
Right. We are trialing on ourselves.
Yes, on ourselves in different areas.
Yes, we are. And is really exciting.
It is. Well, because you see all those other ones that are out right now and, they're doing all different areas and it's the same, it's the same technology, I guess, in an aspect. We're a little different. We could always explain to you the difference, but what it's going to do is it's going to tighten, brighten, and sculpt. And so if you have that little bit of loose skin on your tummy, it's going to tighten, brighten, and sculpt. Same with your arms.
Yeah.
And so, we'll let you know.
If a patient was interested in titanium lift, how would you describe it feels?
Fine. Okay. Well, unless your name is Shannon. No, I'm just kidding. For some reason, Shannon's. No. When she sees this, she's gonna laugh. But yeah, exactly. There's like 4. But I don't think I feel like I'm a baby. I feel like the more I age, I'm a big baby about everything, and I didn't find it uncomfortable at all.
I'm a big baby.
She is a big baby.
I didn't find it uncomfortable. Just certain areas can get a little hot, and you just let us know. And
what we've noticed kind of like around the jawline,
chin. Yeah. Another question a lot of patients have is, can their husband come in and do it? So, no, they can't come in and do it, especially if we have facial hair, because
you want to keep your facial.
You want to keep.
You can if you don't want it.
So you can come in and do it, but once we explain the technology to you, the machine was made for laser hair removal. We're using it at a different setting that it doesn't go all the way down to the core of like the hair follicle. But in reality, it does still have the ability to remove hair from your face, especially jawline and chin. That's why it gets a little hot in there. So for our males, we usually don't promote this unless they want to lose all their facial hair.
And I think a question would be, who would be the perfect patient for this type of treatment? But I think it's great for anybody as long as you don't have melasma. Correct?
Okay, well, you can, I make sure my patients can have melasma. There is heat involved, so melasma patients cannot have a laser that has
exacerbate melasma.
Yeah, so there's no melasma patients.
Anyone could benefit from brightening and
tightening and sculpting.
Yes. It's true.
I would have thought when we first were introducing it to our practice, when we first were going to do this, I was thinking that there was going to be a specific kind, but I've had all different, I've done this on a lot of patients now, and at all different ages, all different, loose skin down here, all different. And I think it's been great for all of them. They've all come back. So
that being said, it's not, if you have excessively loose skin, you need a neck lift.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, there's like you always say,
it's
Dr.
not a
P.
miracle.
No, it's not a miracle.
And you always say, Dr. P, there's nothing that compares to a knife.
Oh, that's true.
So if it's, but it is such a great maintenance laser.
Oh yeah.
Right?
So it's recommended to initially start with 4 and then once every 6 months, and it takes maybe 30 minutes to do, and you leave and you can go about your daily life. No problems. No having to hide in the house.
Right.
To heal.
Yeah. So when we did this study, from Alma, that's what they said. Initially start with 4 and then once every 6 months. When I dived deep into it, because I wanted to see if this is something I wanted to do for like family members, in Korea, they start with 4 weeks apart, and then every 3 months to reactivate the collagenesis. So either way, you do keep up with it. I remember patients are like, is this forever? Yes, you want to react. We are still aging, right?
Nothing it lasts forever.
Nothing lasts forever, guys. So
turn back the clock, it keeps on ticking.
Yeah,
that's right.
And so you have to redo this to reactivate that. If you do this and we show you your before and afters immediately afterwards, you're going to be pretty impressed. I'm going to tell you why those are your before or afters right afterwards, but when you come back in 4 weeks and we still take those pre-pictures and show you what you were like before, you're going to see results. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Right. It was a pretty amazing feeling walking into the gym and having someone run up to me and say, "Oh my God, look at my face." I'm just like, when a treatment makes sense and you can afford it, and you actually get the results, like you can ask for something better than that.
Yeah. It's so cool. Really excited to have that in our office and practice.
Speaking about the titanium lift, a lot of our patients ask if they can get laser treatments during the summertime. What are your thoughts on that?
Definitely. First and foremost, we live in Southern California, and there's sun out about
365 days a year. So
if that was the option, then none of us could get laser. So luckily, all you need to do is really protect yourself from the sun with our LTMD sunblock, which is our favorite.
That is, actually, it really is our favorite.
And it's safe to use after any procedure. So that's all that I would recommend. There's certain procedures that, like CO2 resurfacing, we do like a high intensity one. If you don't want to be stuck in your house at certain times of the year, because not that you're necessarily stuck in your house, but you're not going to be able to go out about like for the first 7 days or so. Some people like to save those for when they have vacation time, like in the winter, during winter break or stuff like that. But there's no real restriction, luckily, with the technology that we have.
Yeah. And it's great. A lot of teachers, obviously, right? They're off for a summer. So this is when they would get like their procedures. We don't want you to have tan on you. It's okay if you've been out in the sun. We really don't want you out in the sun for 2 weeks before, like really exposed to the sun, but we really do not want you to have spray tan on you because we're going to tell you to come back later. So that's probably the really only regulation.
Right.
Or a sunburn.
Yeah.
Yeah. And skin protection you should be protecting your face and your skin from the sun, regardless if you had a laser treatment or not, but even more so with the laser treatment.
Yeah, definitely. So there's no time limit for sure, or time frame. That's best. It's all up to your schedule.
All right. One of the main questions we get, which I totally get it, because before I was part of this industry, I didn't know anything about any of aesthetics. What is the difference between neurotoxins like Dysport, Xeomin, Botox, and fillers?
Which is like Juvederm, Restylane, Voluma, Volbella, all those names that you hear. The main difference is one, technically relaxes, quote unquote, paralyzes the muscle temporarily from moving, which prevents the fine lines from occurring, while the other, which is hyaluronic acid, most commonly, or calcium hydroxyapatite for Radius and PLLA for Sculptra, are fill in and restore volume.
Volume that's lost. Yeah.
And it's interesting. I'll have patients be like, can you just put a little bit of like Botox here or here to help with, they'll see like the deep lines. And I'm like, it's just a matter of educating the patient on what does what and why.
Right.
I guess my main question I get all the time is, do you think I should get lip filler or do you think I should get a lip flip? So lip filler is filler, right? It's filler that's going to go into your lips to replace volume, and lip flip is a neurotoxin that goes into the muscles that pull the lip down. I love that it's called lip flip. I always kid around with my patients. I'm like, if we called it for like smoker lines, you wouldn't want to get it. It doesn't sound pretty. So lip flip sounds beautiful. So even if you're not a smoker and we increasingly drink from a straw, or you just are the kind of person that pierces your lips all the time, you get those little lines above there. Those lines you can put filler in if you wanted to.
So you're saying if you like kiss a lot, that happens?
Yeah. So if you wanted to get, a lot of people are like, oh, I think I want to try a lip flip. It's going to make my lip look a lot bigger. It's going to give the illusion that your lip is flipping, right? That's why it's called lip flip, because you're not able to pull down those muscles. So you can't drink from a straw, can't whistle, and you aren't able to do some other stuff. So, but lip filler is going to fill the volume of your lips. So I think that's where I get most of my questions between filler and, but I don't think they know lip flip is even neurotoxins, which is like Botox, Dysport and stuff.
Right. Okay. So what is the downtime with neurotoxins like Botox? Is there downtime?
Well, yeah, 24 hours.
But is it really technically downtime?
Well,
I guess you can't. It's recommended for sure, and I don't want you to. You're right. Exercise.
Well, I don't want you to sweat. So I don't want you to exercise. So I am like a big stickler about this. Dr. P is not as big as me. They'll be like, nobody's ever told me that. I'm like, that's because I'm crazy. But I do not want you to lose what you just paid for. So it is a toxin that goes into the muscle. It takes 24 hours for it to activate. And it literally is like creating an invisible shield over your muscle, and you cannot bring in acetylcholine. And if you know any science behind that, the acetylcholine makes the muscles do their movement. So 24 hours, you're not going to exercise. You're not going to be barbecuing outside with the steam on you're not going to cook from the oven and get steam on your face. You're not going to
like, what do you call
sauna,
it?
jacuzzi.
What
You're
can
not
you
just
do?
for 24 hours. After that, it's already activated the muscle. It's there. It's going to be there. The studies, if you doses duration. So if you've done what you're supposed to be doing for your face, then it's going to be there for 90 days.
Very good. Yeah, I guess you could just think about the ludicrous song, no sauna, jacuzzi, no back row at the movies.
Oh, I love that.
Oh my God.
I totally
You know
forgot
what I thought
about that.
because Misty has her spiel. She says all the
Oh my
time,
God,
and it
I-
kind of sounds like that
That's
song.
what it was. I was hanging out with Ludacris and he told me.
Keeping it real with that song.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's so brilliant.
No, I do that because I feel like people really don't understand. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be like, you really can't wear a hat today. And they're like, oh, okay. Well, I'm going to go to my son's soccer and I'm like, no, you're not understanding. I just put neurotoxins all through your forehead. You put a hat on there, you're going to
You don't
be
want it
internally.
moved,
Well, yeah.
Right.
And that's how I kind of, you're going to sweat it out or it's going to run down your face. So please don't do these things, you know?
Okay, so what about with filler? Is there downtime when people get filler?
Listen, with filler, it all depends how much we do. There's swelling that occurs initially, and then there's bruising that can occur, which we cannot predict if that's going to happen to you and how long it's going to take for. Usually takes about 2 weeks, I think, for things to completely settle down and for all that to swelling or reaction to calm down.
No, and like for filler, you don't want to go get a facial or a massage, right afterwards. You don't want to.
I don't do any of those things.
Well, and you don't want to get like a heated laser right after, right? If you went and got filler today and you're like, oh, they just talked about this titanium lift, I'm going to do that tomorrow. Well, you're not actually going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to educate you when you're able to because I don't want to warm it up and move it or do anything like that to it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of, that's what we're here for though. We ask you guys the questions. The biggest question I've gotten this week for some reason from 4 different people is, guess what? You actually cannot get anything done at my office if you're breastfeeding. You can't. Now that you told me you're breastfeeding, you're not doing anything. So
I agree.
yeah. Same with
enough
being
studies,
pregnant.
right?
Yeah, not enough studies. There's not enough pregnant people hanging out at
We don't want to put you at risk or your
No.
baby, actually, not you, but your baby. So stop breastfeeding. Give them a bottle.
Come see us.
Don't be a cow.
Oh my God. I loved breastfeeding.
I hated it.
Oh my God.
What is the biggest mistake people make before coming in for filler? And I think, let me give you an example. Coming in for filler and saying, I'm so excited to get my lips done. I'm getting married next week.
Okay. Well, we just had that actually. Remember, they really were getting married on Saturday. So you just educate them. I mean, Murphy's Law, you're probably going to bruise now. You might never have bruised before, but so we educate them. That's not my favorite thing to do.
Before,
No.
if I want to at least be 2 weeks to 4 weeks away from a big event, gives us enough time to make any corrections if needed, or allow you to heal and for bruising to go away.
Yeah, we do have the patients that come in and say they don't care though. I mean, a new neurotoxin patient came in, wanted to get married that week. I'm like, oh, well.
And I think this is why, which I love so much about what we do at our practice, is we really become friends with our patients and we ask what they have going on in their life, because then we can predict what a treatment plan, right? So then that way they're like, oh, I'm so excited. I'm getting married next year. Then you guys are sitting there coming up with a treatment plan to get
the
them
correct
to where,
timing.
Well, I have a patient like that right now. She's getting married soon. And we did that. That's what we did. We made sure we were on the right schedule, when she's going to get her lips done, when she's going to get her toxins done, when it's going to give us 14 days to make sure her toxins kicked in perfect for her picture. So that's exactly what we like to do. Even yesterday, remember, I had sisters come in. They're going on vacation. And I'm like, well, okay, and they wanted to do totally different stuff than they usually do for their neurotoxins. One doesn't even live in state. And so I just educate why we did it this way the last time, what these muscles actually do. And if you need anything, call me when you get back from vacation. So, so I think that we do a lot of over educating, which I think is amazing. I like to over educate. I want you to walk away and be like, God, I feel like I was just at school.
You can never have too much education.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to move into a lightning round. So I'm going to ask each of you a question, and you are going to answer with one word or phrase.
Okay.
No explanation.
Okay.
Just
So stop.
Oh, was this on my notes that I didn't read?
yes.
Okay.
But it's good. It's
Yeah.
it's just what pops in your head.
Okay. Dr. P, your favorite treatment.
Cow. Okay, do it again. My favorite treatment.
Just answer it.
BeautiFill.
Misty.
Laser lipo.
Threads.
PDO threads.
Mm-hmm. They're my favorite.
Okay, Dr. P, most underrated treatment.
Lip lift.
Misty.
PRP microneedling.
Oh, also, sorry.
I said lightning round.
Temples.
Oh, temples for sure, actually.
Yes. Okay. Dr. P, most satisfying treatment to perform.
Every treatment.
Misty.
Oh my gosh, I know. I think my most satisfying is temples. Actually, honestly, it's temples.
Isn't
Think
it
about-
just entire face?
All right. This
Okay,
is the
yeah.
lightning round.
Okay.
Lightning round. Okay. Dr. P, biggest skincare mistake you see.
Buying a zillion different things from Sephora or Ulta and not knowing why or when or how to use them.
Misty.
Biggest skincare
Not
mistake.
using them.
Probably not using medical grade skincare. They don't even know what medical grade skincare is usually. So
What
that's
about
why-
you?
Not using sunscreen.
Oh,
Yeah, the basic.
who
right
doesn't
there.
use sunscreen? All right. Well, I didn't even think about that.
You have a lot of patients who come
I
in.
know.
You see they
I
don't.
try to make them use our sunscreen as foundation. That's what I think that's the most amazing thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. P, sunscreen every day.
Every day.
Misty, sunscreen every day.
Well, I use it instead of foundation.
Actually, multiple times a day. You have to
Right.
reapply. Don't forget.
Dr. P, coffee before work or during work?
During, before, after.
Misty.
Coffee all day, 4 a.m. till whenever.
Well, that's our problem. We work right next door
Yeah.
to the coffee
Yeah.
shop. So,
Yeah.
Dr. P, best advice for someone in their 20s
Sunblock.
with aesthetics.
Sunblock. Please. Please. If I only knew that. We used to sunbathe with baby oil, iodine, reflective mirrors, damage. I'm lucky that I lived in New York City where we only had summer like 2 to 3 months out of the year instead of here where it's all the time. That's why I see so many patients with sun damage, sunblock.
Lightning round.
I don't think we understand this lightning round.
Misty, best advice for someone in their 20s.
All right, best advice for somebody in their 20s. I like to tell my patients that come in to think of their skin as a garden. So you want to use sunblock. Seriously, I actually do that. You want to water it. If you don't water it, it's not going to grow. Okay. And you have to have the right vitamins. So if you don't feed your garden, it's not going to grow. You have to use sunscreen and medical grade skincare. So that is exactly how your garden's going to grow. And if you don't do that, grow. Yeah, you have to. So you have to make it grow from the inside out and protect it from the outside in. That's, I think I actually tell most patients that, but the 20-year-olds is really, I take a lot of time. on those
Philosophical.
Yes. Yeah. I'm impressed. I want to answer that again. I think that, what is your question again?
Best advice for someone in their 20s.
Marry someone super rich.
Oh. Damn it. I knew she was going to say, so I thought she was going to say something else. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Dr. P, best advice for someone in their 40s.
Sunblock. Invest in yourself.
Misty,
Oh, same
Best
thing.
advice for someone in their 40s?
You guys, the same thing. Honestly, if you're not drinking enough water, you're not taking the best vitamins.
I think she has the best
And
advice.
the skincare isn't medical grade, and you're not using sunscreen, you can't grow from the inside out or protect from the outside in. I mean, that's actually, anybody should be thinking about this.
Right. And something that we're all really focused on right now is, and I'm not in my 40s yet, but I will be. I'll meet you guys there in less than a year.
And I'll be in my 50s.
But taking care of yourself from the inside out.
Mm-hmm.
We're really focused on that right now. And it's so important.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's the topic of, I guess, when I'm about to be 45 and I had a girl. Well, we get together with my girlfriends. Some of them I've known since preschool. I grew up in this area, but like others I've known since like elementary school. And last night we talked about hormone replacement therapy. And I'm like, oh, well.
That's the topic of conversation.
I think it's really important to take care of yourself and really think about what's going on with yourself. And the number one thing is don't educate yourself off TikTok or Instagram. And I could just go on forever about all this. So,
right. Okay, Dr. P, one treatment everyone should try.
Botox.
Misty, one treatment everyone should try.
I really believe in microneedling with PRP. I really, really think it's the most undersold thing. If you have a good skincare and you do microneedling with PRP and you can't afford anything else, even doing it 3 times a year is probably one of the best things you can invest for your skin. So,
yeah. All right.
Yeah, when was the last time we did that?
I wish. I legitimately haven't done PRP with microneedling on myself over like almost 2 years.
Let's all do it in September.
Guess who's coming? That's so funny you keep mentioning that because my sister the other day was like, I need to come in. She's on this skin journey.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's going to come in.
She is?
Yeah.
I honestly think it's the most undersold thing. It's expensive.
Underrated, right?
Well, it's underrated, but even with when you go to skincare conferences, if you can match microneedling with PRP with a good skincare, you are basically you're prepping the skin. And then yes, neurotoxins are amazing. I think most people need neurotoxins for sure. But I think those things are very, very important. Taking care of the skin in general is very important.
And it's regenerative. It's not, a quick fix. It's regenerative.
Yeah. You're healing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, it was great having this conversation. I actually really enjoyed getting to know you a little better.
Like we're not
I really enjoyed hanging out with you for this little amount of time.
Yes.
We all see each other 9 hours a day.
But it was great actually to talk about things that a lot of people are asking us and taking the time to provide our patients with the answers that they want and just hearing our different perspectives on things, just different ways to treat different things and different people. And different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, absolutely. And we would love to hear from our patients, like on other topics that they want us to dive deeper into, right?
Yeah.
I think that we should, yes, I think we should hear from our patients, see what they want us to dive into. But I think we should, I was just thinking about something somebody asked me this morning. We should go deeper into like these peptides and GLPs.
Regenerative medicine.
Yeah, we really, really should. I think that there's a misconception, even from taking it from here to even where right now I'm in OBGYN. There's complete misconception. I don't think people are educated right. And I feel like we have a lot of education we can share with people, especially Dr. P, diving deep into the HRT, which is hormone replacement therapy.
We'll definitely talk about that next time.
I think we have a lot of stuff we can share with you guys, and let us know what you guys want to hear about and what you kind of have questions about. And even everything we touch base on, there might be things that you don't know, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Definitely. Thank you for setting this up, Darby. And thank you, Ismael.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much.
And everyone have a great day.
And signing off.